Good afternoon. Unit 4 Digital CMOS circuit. So first we will see the introduction of digital CMOS circuit. So a CMOS transistor has four terminals: gate, source, drain and substrate, and it acts as a switch. When switch is on, transistor is on. When switch is on means transistor is on, and it allows the current to flow between the source and drain terminals. Source and drain terminals. The transistor can turn on or off using the gate terminal. So there are two kinds of CMOS transistors, N-channel and P-channel transistors. An N-channel transistor require logic 1 on the gate terminal to make the switch conducting, that is transistor is on, and a P-channel transistor require logic 0 on the gate terminal to make the switch conducting, that is transistor on. The P-channel transistor has a symbol has a bubble on gate terminal to specify that the gate has to be 0 to turn the transistor on. So integrated circuit means what? Many transistors on a single chip. Now MOSFET, that is metal oxide semiconductor, MOS transistor, metal oxide semiconductor transistor. It is a fast, cheap, low power transistor. These MOS transistors are fast, cheap, low power transistors. Complementary, it is a mixture of N and P type leads to less power. Now next is MOSFET. So MOSFET consists of first, what is the long form of MOSFET? Metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So MOSFET consists of two diffused regions, drain and source. Source is heavily doped, so it is fabricated on opposite type of substrate. Depending on the type of substrate used, MOSFETs are classified as N-channel MOSFET or P-channel MOSFET. So in N-channel MOSFET, the substrate is P-type silicon and channel charge carriers are electrons, hence the name is N-channel. And this conducting channel is formed between the two N plus ohmic contact called the source and drain. The gate of MOS is formed by substrate and polysilicon as two plates of capacitor with oxide as an insulator. The distance between the source and drain diffusion region is called the channel length L. The lateral extent of the channel is known as channel width W. So the thickness of the oxide layer is taken as Tox. L length, W width, Tox is the thickness. So it determines the electrical behavior of the MOSFET, and the gate material is usually polysilicon or aluminum, and the length of the gate is almost equal to the channel length L. So there are basically two types, the depletion MOSFET and enhancement MOSFET. So what is depletion MOSFET? At zero gate voltage and a fixed drain voltage, the current is maximum initially and then decreases or depletes with applied gate potential. And enhancement MOSFET is it exhibits no current at zero gate voltage and magnitude of the output current increases, that is enhances with the increase in magnitude of the gate potential. So there is a one more technology, that is CMOS technology, that is complement metal oxide semiconductor. So first we will see the difference between the CMOS and bipolar technology. CMOS technology, it is a static power dissipation. Here static power dissipation is low. Bipolar technology, here high power dissipation. In CMOS it has a low drive current, means high input impedance, and bipolar it has a high drive current, means low input impedance. For CMOS high noise margin, for bipolar low noise margin. For CMOS packing density is very high, for bipolar low packing density. For CMOS fan out limitations, so high delay sensitivity to load, and for bipolar low delay sensitivity to load. For CMOS low output drive current, bipolar high output drive current. For CMOS drain and source can be interchangeable, means bidirectional capability, and in bipolar it is essentially unidirectional. Then in CMOS ideal switching device, bipolar is not ideal switching device as that of the CMOS. So MOSFET, here diagram for this is given. Metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Source is here source, gate and drain are shown, and the material used for these three terminals are also given. Then so metal oxide semiconductor, that is MOS structure, is created by superimposing a several layer of conducting and insulating material to form a sandwich like structure. So these structures are manufactured using a series of chemical processing steps involving oxidation of the silicon, selecting inductive of dopant selective introduction of dopants, and deposition and etching of the metal wire and contacts. So CMOS technology provide two types of transistor, N-type transistor and P-type. N-type means NMOS, P-type means PMOS. The transistor operation is controlled by the electric field, so the devices are also called metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So here diagram for the NMOS transistor and PMOS transistor given. Three terminals, source, gate and drain are also shown here. So each transistor consists of stack of a conducting gate, an insulating layer of silicon dioxide, that is SiO2, and the silicon water, also called as a substrate or body or a bulk. An NMOS transistor is built with a p-type body and it has a region of n-type semiconductor adjacent to the gate called the source and drain. A PMOS consists of p-type source and drain region with an n-type body. In CMOS technology with both flavors of transistor, the substrate is either n-type or p-type. So other flavor of transistor must be built in a special way in which a dopant atoms have been added to form the body of the opposite type. So here NMOS transistors are shown. Symbol for the NMOS transistor is also given here. So in NMOS transistor, here the n-type regions are the source and drain electrodes, and the region between the source and drain is the channel region, which is covered by thin silicon dioxide layer. The gate is placed at the top of the oxide layer, and because of the presence of insulating silicon dioxide layer, the device is also known as insulated gate field effect transistor, and it is because of this layer the MOSFET have a high input resistance. Here in NMOS transistor, the substrate type is P-type substrate is used, and N-type dopant for the source and drain. An inversion layer is formed to conduct the electricity. So N-channel transistor require logic 1 on gate terminal to make the switch conducting, that is transistor on. Next is PMOS transistor. So here diagram for the PMOS transistor, and the symbol for PMOS is given here. In PMOS transistor, N-type substrate is used and P-type dopant for the source and drain is used. The inversion layer is formed to conduct the electricity. So in P-type, in a P-channel transistor require logic 0 on the gate terminal to make the switch conducting, that is transistor on. So the P channel transistor symbol has a bubble. Here bubble on the gate terminal is shown. On the gate terminal, this bubble specifies that the gate has to be 0 to turn the transistor on. So this is the main difference between the symbol of PMOS and NMOS transistor, the bubble on the gate terminal. Next is CMOS. So CMOS is the combination of both NMOS and PMOS technology. The most basic example of the CMOS is inverter. So it is combination of NMOS and PMOS structure. So N-channel MOSFET. So consider NMOS transistor. Here the body is generally grounded, so PN junction of the source and drain to body are reverse bias. If the gate is also grounded, then no current flow through the reverse bias junction. Hence, we say the transistor is off. If the gate voltage is raised, it creates an electric field which start to attract the free electrons to the underside of the SiO2 interface. If the voltage is raised enough, the electrons number that holds and this region under gate called the channel is inverted to act as an n-type semiconductor. So a conducting path of electron carrier is formed from the source to the drain and current can flow. So we can say that the transistor is on. Next is p-channel MOSFET. So for p-channel MOSFET, for PMOS transistor, the body is held at a positive voltage. When the gate is also at positive voltage, the source and drain junctions are reverse bias and no current flows, so the transistor is off. When the gate voltage is lowered, the positive charges are attracted to the underside of the Si-SiO2 interface. A sufficiently low gate voltage inverts the channel and conducting path of positive carrier is formed from source to drain, so the transistor is on. Now next, MOSFET as a switch. The gate of a MOS transistor controls the flow of current between the source and drain. So simplifying these to the extreme allow the MOS transistor to be viewed as a simple on-off switch. MOS transistor is on-off switch. When the gate of NMOS transistor is on and there is a conducting path from source to drain, When the gate is low, the NMOS transistor is off and almost zero current flows from source to drain. Now for the PMOS transistor, it is opposite. The function is opposite. That is, to on the PMOS transistor, the gate is low because the gate is low and off when the gate is high. That is, when 0 is applied to the gate terminal of PMOS transistor, then it is on, and when 1 is applied to the gate terminal of PMOS transistor, then it is off. The function of PMOS transistor is reversed as that of the NMOS transistor. Next is MOSFET parasitic. So in CMOS transistor, the in CMOS transistor, various parasitic elements affect the overall performance of the circuit, and the important parasitic elements include the resistance between the source and drain, junction capacitance, overlap capacitance, gate resistance, interconnect RC components. The source drain junction portion of the MOSFET is a parasitic component. So these junctions have a resistance and capacitance, and these parasitic elements limit the drive capability and switching speed of the device, and it should be minimized, but the effect cannot be eliminated. So source drain resistance. The parasitic resistance between the source to drain resistance causes the abstraction in the current flow, and the source side resistance degrades the gate drive. The voltage drop across the intrinsic resistance Rs and Rd associated with the source and drain region respectively, and these are negligible compared to the applied voltage. So RS and RD are negligible compared to the channel resistance RCH. Now here equation for RCH, that is channel resistance, is given, and L is the channel length. So the channel length L, as the channel length L decreases, the series resistance RS and RD becomes appreciable fractions of the RCH, and it cannot be neglected. So RS is RSH plus RCO plus RSP. Next, source drain junction capacitance. The source drain to substrate boundary is an N plus P plus N junction. The capacitance of PN junction consists of two components, the area component or the bottom wall capacitance and the periphery, that is the side wall capacitance. In MOSFET, the source drain doping concentration towards the outer side is different from the inner side. The gate resistance along with the gate parasitic capacitance introduces a RC delay, and it causes a delay oscillation in the circuit. A MOSFET junction capacitance is divided into the three components, that is bottom wall capacitance, outer side wall capacitance and inner side wall capacitance. So submicron devices, due to the thinner gate oxide, the low junction depth and higher channel doping concentration, the inner side wall capacitance becomes higher than the outer side wall capacitance. Now there is one more concept, interconnect capacitance. So apart from the area capacitance associated with the layers to the substrate and from the gate to the channel, the other significant sources of capacitance are also encountered, which contribute to the overall wiring capacitance. So these are capacitance due to the fringing field, interlayer capacitance and peripheral capacitance. Now the effect of fringing field is to increase the effective area of the plates, forming a parallel plate capacitance. The capacitance due to the fringing field can be a major component of the overall wiring capacitance. When metallization is in the form of fine lines, the value of fringing capacitance may be comparable to that of the area capacitance. Therefore, for accurate evaluation of the circuit performance, the fringing field capacitance are required to be taken into consideration. The the interlayer capacitance are unavoidable to occur between the layers. However, the consideration of the same has certain aspect related to layout. For example, the capacitance between the metal and polysilicon is higher than that between the metal and substrate. So it occurs only where a layer cross or when one layer underlies another. And the source and drain terminal of N and P channel devices are formed by N plus and P plus diffusions respectively. So these form the diodes with substrate. For diffusion region, each diode so formed has associated with it a peripheral or a side wall capacitance, and its order is typically a few picofarad per unit length. So overall side wall capacitance may be considerably greater than the area capacitance of the diffusion region to substrate. Now parasitic delay of gate is defined as the delay of the gate when it drives zero load. Common method of computing a parasitic delay is to count only diffusion capacitance on the output node. So the next part we will see in the next lecture.